Tragedy in Macbeth is directed by Joel Coen and stars Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Kathryn Hunter, Harry Melling, Corey Hawkins, Brendan Gleeson, Jacob McCarthy, Moses Ingram, Bertie Carvel, Brian Thompson, Sean Patrick Thomas, Ralph Ineson, Alex Hassell, Stephen Root, and a bunch of other people, and I'm not a huge Shakespeare guy. So going into this, I had watched The Green Knight, and I really loved that, and it seemed like they were kind of doing like a similar approach with this story. So I was excited to see how they were going to do this. And it's A24. They have a very good track record of impressing me a lot, especially with Come On and The Green Knight. Fantastic films. So I was looking forward to seeing how they were going to adapt this. But before I give you my initial thoughts, I just want to say I'm sorry for the background again. I am still on vacation. I'm actually in San Diego right now with my family for holiday break. So I am going to be back in my normal setup in about a week. So I'm doing my best. I'm trying to keep track of the reviews I'm doing. There's not a lot of reviews to do. This is actually, I'm going to consider this probably the first 2022 movie I'm reviewing, because this film does come out on Apple Plus on January 14th or 15th. So I'm going to consider this my first review of a 2022 film. That being said, look forward to my top 10 best coming this week. And I'm not going to do a worst, because I really don't want to do that, but look forward to my top 10 best. And so yeah, let's get into my initial thoughts. This film, I'll be honest, A24 has always done such a great job with their films, and this is no exception. This is a very, very well done adaptation. This film clearly knows its source material, and it thoroughly executes it with some amazing performances. I think Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand are obviously the standouts. Seeing Ralph Ineson, let me know if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I'm so sorry if I am. He was very good in this film, and basically everyone did a phenomenal job. And the cinematography is incredible. I think this movie is beautiful. There is a lot to love about this film, and I understand why people love it. That being said, I didn't find this film to be the best, and I'm going to go into the reasons why, but I thought this film was just good. I may get a lot of hate for this, but I didn't love it. I honestly didn't love it, and that's totally fine, and I'm going to get into my reasons why in a second, but for now, let's start with the good. The first thing I want to talk about is the cinematography. It is incredible. It is beautiful looking. I think the black and white color template they decided to go with totally fucking works. It feels like it gives the film a distinct look to it, even though A24 did release another black and white film, Come On. This film does have a very good usage for it, and I think it really helps with its production design, which is also excellent. And I also think the writing here is great. It's an adaptation. It's well done. It knows its themes. It knows its characters. It is doing a very good job of telling this story. That being said, even though the film doesn't have its problems, the themes are very rich and very, very, very unique. It's not really something you see in a lot of films nowadays, at least the way it's portrayed here. You don't see it portrayed in the way it is here in a lot of other films. This definitely does have a very unique take on the idea of power and revenge and a lot of different things. But at the same time, the film stays faithful to what it's based on, and it never tries to be anything necessarily different in a way. To me, it never feels like it tries to be its own thing. It's very much a faithful adaptation to a Shakespeare play, and a lot of people won't like that. But I dug it. I really respect the fact that they have so much love for the story they're telling. Therefore, this film does feel very authentic, and I really do think that Joel Coen here does a great job directing. I think he does a phenomenal job. He made the film his movie, and it's definitely different than what Joel Coen has done in the past. It's really nice seeing him do something like this. So, that being said, I do have some issues. So, let's get into the bad. First thing I do want to talk about in terms of really my biggest issue with this movie is, at least for me, the pacing is dreadful. The pacing here is it's so slow. And for a lot of people, that'll work. But for me, and the fact that I'm not a huge Shakespeare fan, and I don't really think his dialogue is amazing. I know it's very metaphorical, and I get that. It just feels like the movie drags a lot, at least for me. It's very slow. It's very dialogue-based. And again, a lot of people will dig that. But for me, especially since, it uses that Shakespeare language, the film didn't always hit its mark. That being said, the film does have some very exciting moments, but for the most part, it doesn't quite hit the mark for me, especially those emotional moments. There are some very disturbing and deep themes throughout this movie that I do say are very much present in this film, but for me, because of the fact that I'm focused so much on what the characters are trying to say, it didn't always work for me, and it didn't always hit for me. That being said, that's really all. This is a very hard review for me to do, but I did enjoy this film. I did think it was good. I think this is a film that I can definitely have love for over time. It will grow slowly, but I really do think I can end up loving this movie at some point in my life. But that's going to take a lot of rewatches. So, for now, I'm going to give The Tragedy of Macbeth a B. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this movie. Please talk about it with me in the comment section below. But until then, guys, I will see you in the next video.